She starts looking at each lever in turn with her eyebrow furrowed. Oh, I can't remember which one's the right one, the girl exclaims with 10 seconds of continuous staring. The mumbling sound coming from the amulet that Flower is wearing around her neck. What is this, Araka? The girl asks as she opens the amulet. Hey Flower, the girl in the amulet says, remember which of the levers you need to pull in order to get to the upper level. Second one from the right. You're not lying to me again, are you? Flower says, looking at the amulet suspiciously. Oh no, it's the truth. I swear on my mother. Okay then. The girl says, I don't think that's a good idea. She pulls the lever. Suddenly the elevator starts moving, but somewhat unsurprisingly, the direction we are headed is down instead of up. Of course. You swore, Flower says furiously. You swore on your mother. I don't have a mother, you twit. Rocket tells her, and she starts laughing hysterically. As we descend towards the lower levels of the ruins, there are several low continuous growls audible somewhere below us. I've had just enough of this, the girl says. Her eyes turns blue again. She starts fiddling with the levers until the elevator stops in its track and heads back up. Oh, so there were more hydras down here? I just had to ruin all the fun like you always do, don't you, Luna? The voice from the amulet says, as the girl's eyes turn green again. Wait, who is Luna? I asked the girl. Is that the Banshee's real name? Never mind that. Adric says, what I want to know is that who is the spirit in the amulet? Who, me? Haraka says, why, I'm the spirit of joy and laughter. The evil girl is keeping you trapped in here. Won't let me do my job spreading happiness all throughout the world. Will you not save me from the villain? Spirit of joy and laughter, eh? Hardrick laughs with his usual grin. So I'm guessing that the sinister aura all around you must be because of the amulet the girl is keeping you in then. Arka asks, oh no, I just forgot to change it. The sinister aura around her is now disappears completely and replaced with one of joy and kindness. See, I'm a spirit of joy and laughter, Arka says. Having changed her voice to resemble that of a sweet little girl. Don't believe me, you can just ask all the people you've had the honor of meeting me. All the people who have the honor of meeting me, I always leave them with a smile on their face. What are you, the Joker? Of course, it would be a little hard to get them to talk to you since they're all dead, and now that I come to think of it, the expression I usually leave them with is somewhat less of a smile, more of a look of sheer terror, but I'm pretty sure that I've carved a few smiles on the necks of some of them. At least some of them, so it should count, right? She starts laughing. Flower interrupts Araka's speech, closing the amulet, then she holds on to it for a few seconds, clenching her fist around it angrily. So I start to ask her, as the elevator finally reaches the corridor with the traps, is that another Banshee then? Yes, Flower says, and a very evil and powerful one. She was trapped in this amulet 20 years ago by the Lasheti, and we've been acting as a jailers ever since. Did you just say 20 years ago? How old are you exactly? Why did the Lasheti ask you to? Why did the Lasheti ask you to? I mean, obviously. Let's go with this one. I'll be turning 30 next month. The girl says, smiling. Hey, look, we have reached the main corridor. Follow me, the room with the buttons. This is the fucking anime lolly thing. Like a fucking girl shows up, she's acting all sexual, and you're like, oh, she's a young girl. We should stay away from her. She's like, nah, I'm 3,000 years old. This is essentially that fucking meme. That's fucking hilarious. Shouldn't be much further. I'm not exactly sure how to tell you this, but you don't really look 30 years old. I tell Flower as we start walking down the corridor. My body stopped aging around 20 years ago after my soul fused with Petals. Petal keeps nagging me that I technically never made it to the age of 10, but I say to hell with that. If I want to have my birthdays, then I'm going to, oh my gods. What? Kate asks, what happened? I remember these 3 corridors, she says as she points in front of us. One of them leads to the control room, while the other 2 lead to deadly traps. I know for certain that the correct corridor had some of an insect marked on one of the walls. We are practically already there. Come on. An insect, Kate asks us. Well, that the leopard gave us something, didn't he? Kate asks, as Flower rushes ahead of us to have a better look at the walls of the 3 corridor. No, the girl yells as we reach the place where the path splits into 3 directions. Looking at the markings on the 3 walls, I start to understand the source of the girl's frustration. She was not mistaken that she marked that the corridor had an insect mark on it. What she failed to remember, however, was that the other 2 corridors had an insect mark on them as well. Wait a minute, Kate says. Didn't that note from the leopard say something about the 3 corridors with the insect mark on them? I see a dragonfly, a beetle, and a wasp. So I think it was a beetle. The leopard told us that the path with the beetle is the correct one. Leopard, Flower asks, you mean Leo the leopard? Yes, Kate asks him, do you know him? Yeah, I know him, but I don't understand why he'd help you. He really hates humans. You think it might be a trap then? Kate says, I don't know. The girl says, oh, if I could only remember which way is the right one. They're just taking the path marked with the dragonfly, instead with the path with the beetle, or instead with the path with the wasp. Well, this sounds horrible. I don't want to If he hates you, I don't really understand why he'd help you. He really hates humans. Well, if he hated us that much, he wouldn't set up this elaborate trap, considering we are going to get executed tomorrow. So, and why would he know that we would escape? So, I think I'm gonna go with the beetle, maybe. Oh, look what I found. This is a achievements menu of sorts. So, what this is that I can pay for the second book, and there's a third book. So, the 3 books were in the first book. I can pay for the second and third book, but I can also just get it by getting some achievements. So I might have to look into that. I've got 6 out of 35 achievements. I need 19 more. Yeah, I think I might just pay for the book at that point. I might look into the achievements, but whatever, we'll see. Let's go down the beetle path. I don't think the leopard would have chosen the roundabout way of having us killed when he could have simply told the fox that we were planning to escape and have our executors instead. I say we go with the corridor marked with the beetle, and we trigger any traps to get out of there as soon as possible. I'll be honest here, says I don't think we have enough information to arrive at any conclusion. It was going to be a guessing game either way. I'd rather go with Barry's instinct, because then if he's wrong, I can blame it all on him afterwards. Once everyone agreed to have me carry the blame to our potential failures, we'll all start walking down the corridor marked with the beetle. After a few minutes of walking through the corridor, we finally start to see some light at the end of the tunnel. That's it, Flower says, excited as she points towards the exit. I remember this part. Once we are past the door, nothing will stand between us and the control room, I told you, and we'll make it there safely. Come on. Okay, so we are at the correct place. Flower rushes out of the tunnel, but her momentum fades immediately after she enters the control room. She stops right in front of the control room. I reach the end of the corridor myself. It takes a few moments for my eyes to adjust to really bright light in the room. Congratulations, I hear a familiar voice say to us while my vision is still a little bit blurry. You made it to the control room, and now you can all die in peace knowing that you have achieved your goal. I suddenly realized that all the light was coming from the spirit fox is standing right before us. Her insanely strong magic aura is shining so brightly that it's hard to even look at her. Leo the leopard is also at her side, but the bull appears to be missing this time around. Why did she go about this roundabout way to kill us? We were about to be executed tomorrow anyway. But the bull appears to be missing this time around. The room is filled with levers and buttons of all shapes and sizes, just like Flower said, and there are strange writings on all the walls. Once I learned that you escaped from the dungeon, the fox says, I knew that there was only one place that he could be heading, so instead of chasing you down, I decided to simply wait for you here. Suddenly, the golden cage pops out of nowhere and surrounds every one of us except Flower. Seems that my benevolence was wasted on the likes of you, Fox says. I'm going to execute you here and now. I'm done with this once and for all. The magical power coming from her is like nothing I've ever witnessed before. There's no way. Is she stronger than Aiden? I haven't even felt so much pressure when I was in the presence of Azarius. The hopelessness I'm feeling right now can only be compared with the feeling I got when I first met Aiden. Are we all just going to die like this without even getting a chance to offer the slightest amount of resistance? Elia, wait, the girl says. She puts herself between us and the spirit fox. You can't hurt them, they're not bad people. Do not stand in my way, Flower. And the fox says, these people broke our sacred rules and they must be punished. Yeah, but can't you give them a slap on the wrist or something? I'm not going to have you question our methods or our punishment, little girl. You may have helped us in the past, but if you insist on defending these criminals, I will not hesitate to execute you along with them. Ooh, you're always so stubborn, the girl says, as her eyes turn a bright red and a magical aura starts to radiate strongly from her body. Fine, if you want to fight, I'll give you a fight. Get ready, Petal. Please stop, the leopard says in the common language. Flower eyes start to go back to her normal green color. What is the meaning of this, Leo? The fox asks. I only gave you permission to use the common language in case of an extreme emergency. I'm sorry if I'm speaking out of turn, oh great golden fox, but I consider this to be an emergency of the utmost importance. Explain yourself. I would like to invoke the 6th golden rule and take the personal custody of these prisoners. To what end? I believe that they would be of much better use to us alive rather than dead. We cannot afford to send any more of our troops to the ogre stronghold. At this rate, the sacred chalice will be lost forever. But these warriors have proven their combat prowess when they defeated a hydra pet from the subterranean level. We would send them to retrieve the chalice in exchange for their freedom. I see, the fox says. So this is why you insist on accompanying me to the control room when you learn the prisoner escaped. You surprise me, Leo. Of all the animals in our kingdom, you are by far the one who hates the humans the most. I never thought I see the day when you would suggest using any of them to further our cause. She pauses for a moment to ponder on his words. Very well then, the fox says, in full accordance with the 6th golden rule, I hereby grant you full custody of these 5 prisoners. Leo then turns to us. You were lucky to have spared in such a way, humans, she says. I suggest you make the most of this opportunity. Uh, yeah, I'd rather not ask about the golden chalice. I feel like she's gonna pit slap us. Let's figure out what we need to do about the stronghold. Could you tell us more about this ogre stronghold we are about to be sent to? The ogre stronghold is a fortress located a few dozen miles from here. Elias says the ogres have been using it as their main headquarters in the area for the past few years. It is heavily defended and very hard to infiltrate. Besides regular warriors, I'm told that the ogres also have a few powerful mages in their ranks. Will we get callers temporarily deactivated once we get to the ogre stronghold? Kate asks. I've seen callers like these before. I know for a fact that they could be activated and deactivated at will without having to remove them. I'm afraid that the callers we use are a more primitive version of the ones you know of, Fox says. Their effects will not go away unless we remove them completely, and I'm not going to have them removed until you have retrieved the golden chalice. I'll give you a time limit of 5 days to complete your quest. This should give you more than enough time to get the task done. If you're not back within 5 days, I will assume that you have abandoned your quest. I will use these callers to have you killed by electrocution. 5 days, Hadrick says. What if we get lost on our way there? You won't, Fox says, because I'm sending a guide with you to show you the way. He then turns to Flower. Flower, since you were so eager to protect these humans with your life, I'm assigning this task to you. I don't think that they'd still want me as their guide after all that happened in these ruins. Couldn't you send Leo or... No, I'm sending you. Consider this your punishment for confronting me earlier. Of course, I'm not going to force you to. If you do not want to take on this task, I will simply execute them right here and spare you the trouble. No, Flower shouts. No, don't do that. Okay, I get it. I'll go with them to the ogre's stronghold. Why is she like a child when she's 30 years old? Well then, the fox says as she turns to me to leave. Leo, I leave you in charge of giving them their mission briefing. Some other business to attend to. So Flower says to us. The fox leaves the room. I guess we'll be traveling together for a while longer. She then starts laughing nervously and unnaturally again. Oh boy, even without using my premonition stat, there's one thing that I'm definitely sure. This is going to be one hell of a trip. Fucking hell, I hate this shit so much. This is the thing. Medieval fantasy have made me so incredibly angry towards any female character we meet. This little girl is okay so far, but like the fox chick, fucking Kate when we met her, even though she has come around and she's decent now, but Kate and fucking Diane to some extent, she just left us in outer fucking wilderness to get fucked over. Now she could have just knocked out Kate and we just picked her up and just left. She had to knock us all out. Like ridiculous, dude. Really ridiculous. Man, oh, I'm so mad. After finishing our briefing and finding our way out of the ruins, we wave goodbye to Leo the leopard. We grab our backpacks and we start heading towards our new objective. Flower is leading the way again, but this time she looks a lot less confident than before. There's definitely some uneasiness in her voice as she speaks to us. Okay, so we will need to follow this path for the next few hours until we reach the first crossroads, the girl says. After that, there isn't really a path to follow anymore, so you're going to have to stick close to me if you don't want to get lost. If you want to take food breaks, just tell me and we'll... Flower, Kate interrupts. Why did you agree to come with us to the ogre stronghold? Isn't it a little dangerous even for you to be headed straight into monster territory like this? Well, yeah, but if I didn't agree to come with you, Elia would have killed you. So what? Kate asks. If the fox killed us, then our blood wouldn't have been on your hands. Why would you go so far out of your way to help a group of complete strangers? Why not just let her kill us and go on about your business? I don't know, I just couldn't. Kate looks at her for a few seconds and then she smiles faintly. I see, she says. Flower, I believe we may have started off on the wrong foot this morning. Allow me to rectify that. She then holds out her hand to her and says, My name is Kate, pleased to meet you. Kate, Flower looks somewhat taken aback by Kate's sudden shift in attitude towards her, and she shakes her hand hesitantly. And my name is Rose. Rose says as she offers her hand as well. I'm glad to have you with us, Flower. I'm Hadrick, says Hadrick, but you can just call me Dwarf. Either way will do. Kate takes a few steps back and is now starting to panic. I'm sorry, she says. I've never really been accepted into a group before. I have no idea what you're supposed to say in these situations. It's okay, Flower, Kate says. You don't have to say anything. Flower says as she starts to calm down. Well, that's a relief. Introduce myself to Flower as well. No, might as well. I'm Barry, I tell her. Pleased to meet you as well. Might as well just do the whole thing. Okay. Oh, thanks, Flower says. But I already got your name. It's pretty easy to remember. You can say that again, Hadrick says with a grin. It's probably also the reason why you can't throw a rock without hitting at least 3 berries in the western continent. And he starts laughing loudly as he usually does. Is berry a common name on the other continents? Flower asks me. Yeah, I've met at least 2 dozen berries in my lifetime, and I don't really socialize much, I tell her. Well, to be fair, Hudrick says, my name is also pretty common in the northern continent, especially for giants like myself. You're a giant? Flower asked, shocked. Wow, I guess you really must have been the black sheep of your family. That's hilarious, actually. Huh.